Ooh. Hey! Lightness, darkness, webcams. All good. Hello, this is another Chill Maths live stream. What is this? What am I doing? Who am I? I'm James. And I thought today we would talk about multi-perfect numbers again. Sort of recurring thing. Hi, Laroot. Hi, I saw in chat as well. Shout out to our Apocalypse, who's some sort of pirate-themed apocalypse, who followed during the break in between episodes, and shout out to Olds Maths, who's just followed me now. So welcome to the channel. Morning, Mountain Ash, and hi, Super Snowman. I'm going to turn on my I'll turn that on so that I can actually get notified about things that are happening. I've updated the stream very slightly, in that we've got I changed all the numbers. Twitch gives you so many numbers to edit. It's brilliant. Right, okay. Let's get right in it. So here's what I want to do. Hello, long pie username and a cool hi as well. Hi to you too as well. So multi-perfect numbers. I can't remember if I called them that before, but it's not important. Yeah, I put something at 10,000, which is a lot. That's because people told me that they had approaching that many points already. Oh, you've got an interview tomorrow. Oh, hi. It's not on this. Okay, and I should probably put that where you can see it. Okay, so multi-perfect number is one where the number divides the sum of its factors. Partly this is a tech experiment for me. I've changed the device that I'm using for writing. It's not as good at the moment. We'll get there. So for example, 6 is a multi-perfect number because the sum of its factors is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6, which is exactly 12. And that's a multiple of 6. 6 divides 12. 12 is a multiple of 6. Supernova's already had an interview. Hi. Right, okay. Well, all the best with those. 120 is also multi-perfect because its factors, let's see if we can do these, 4, 5, 6, it's got so many factors. Possibly the better way to write its factors is, if I put ... there, it looks like I'm saying all numbers. But we can do slightly better. There's this slightly better way to write it, which we talked about a little bit before, that this is... Hey, who's this? This is Maria Returner. Thanks for the follow. The fun thing about being interviewed by Jesus is, of course, that if you aren't accepted, you can forever describe yourself as rejected by Jesus, which is something that not everyone gets to say. 8 times 15, I think, is how you make 120. And there's a reason. I'll show people why again in a second, I think, but for good reasons. The sum of the factors of 120 is this, which works out as... the point of doing that was to make it easier. 8, 4, 12, 14, 15. 15 times 4 times 6, which is 360. Which is a multiple of 120. Hooray, we did it. There are many more of these multi-perfect numbers. Okay. I see, there you go. Mountain Ash, there you go. Are they lonely amicable numbers? Is an amicable number where the sum of its factors is a different one? Hang on, let me look something up real quick. Amicable number. Yeah, amicable numbers... Yeah, okay, I looked it up. That is funny. Amicable numbers are ones where the sum of the factors is the other one, and then the sum of the factors of that one is this one. Hey, little two-cycle. The example that people always give is 220 and 284, because the sum of the factors of 284 is 220, and the sum of the factors of 220 is 284. That was a real let me Google something, okay, that was funny kind of moment. 2 from you and 1 from Queens. People got interviews. Okay. This time last week, people were very stressed about how many interviews they had, so it's nice to know that people have got interviews. Probably got to declare the Olds Maths thing. Someone I'm interviewing has found me on Twitch. just in case anyone's wondering, this does not. Yeah, it's not the case that I'm just going to take Twitch subscribers. You gotta share an amicable number with them. But so you do like the amicable numbers are cute because you can put them on like a little locket or something. If like what do lockets look like? 220 and 284, and then I take that bit and they take that bit, and then we have half of each, and the sum of my factors is your number, the sum of your factors is my number. Excellent sidetrack, thanks. I saw a paper recently, not a recent paper, just one that I saw recently because I was trying to find out more about these numbers, with a strategy, not really a method, but a strategy for trying to make more of these. Results. So, Supersnowman, I'm trying not to talk about emissions too much, I think, but yeah, all this data is shared between colleges at Oxford. So Oxford's got a shared database where all the colleges put their interview scores in, and they can affect decisions. I wouldn't be scared of that as a fact. Colleges, having a good interview experience is probably a better indicator than having a bad interview experience would be. So if you've already had a good interview experience, you don't have to worry that some bad interview experiences might put people off. And then we're talking about Cambridge interviews. Oh yeah, sorry, we're all talking about Cambridge interviews. So if we're talking about Cambridge interviews, then there's, as far as I know, no shared database, and you only get interviewed by one college. So none of the question doesn't work. Okay, cool. You got this kind of slightly weird policy of not trying to talk about my job too much, which is also why. Of course, if I didn't have the job that I have, then I'm not kidding myself, no one would be watching the stream. So, okay, let's keep it together. You've got Cambridge interviews. Okay. Good luck with Cambridge interviews. And this is what we're doing. Somebody's asked Streamlabs what we're doing. We're looking for multi-perfect numbers, a number that divides the sum of its factors. I tried to find this succinct text for Streamlabs, so I'm trying that out. Number divides, so I could explain to Streamlabs what I'm doing in fewest possible characters. Really, I'm interested in the ones like these. So this is sometimes called 2 perfect. Well, not really. People just call these perfect numbers. And this is sometimes called 3 perfect or thrifect. Nobody says that either. I sometimes think super perfect or multi-perfect. I don't know. I've been playing around with these. Let me show you this method that I saw in a paper, and I might try and find the paper again and link it to people if you like. But here's how it works. You start with some number. So like 32, which is 2 to the power of 5. Yep. And then the sum of its factors is, well, for 32, the sum of its factors is 63 over 32, which is 3 squared times 7 over 2 to the 5. And then the plan is to, so that's not a multiple of 32. It's not a whole number. Sorry, yes, this would have to be, that's what I want. This fraction would have to be over the number. What am I working out? There we go. I've worked out the sum of the factors over the number. That would have to be a whole number for me to be done. It's not a whole number, so I'm going to keep looking. The plan is to multiply by something coprime and see if that fixes it. So coprime is a word that means they don't have any prime factors in common. For example, 15 and 8 are coprime, even though they're not prime numbers, but they don't have any prime factors in common. People say coprime. It just comes up quite a bit that that's the relevant criterion that you need, that they have no prime factors in common. Here, the nice thing about using coprime numbers is that the separate bits don't meddle. Right, so I'm going to pick something that's co-prime to the original number. Thanks. Yeah, not loving this new pen at the moment. I've got a new touchpad thing that is not perfect. Oh, hi Zoe. You alright? We're doing multi-perfect numbers again. If you've got that code handy, then that might be part of this. Plan is to try and generate massive multi-perfect numbers by doing some multiplication. Here's a fact that I'd like to use. If you've got two co-prime numbers, so if A and B are co-prime, then the sum of the factors of AB is, and then it factorizes nicely. It's the sum of factors of A, so I'm going to write sum fact A, which I think we've sometimes been writing sigma of A. Yeah, so I'm going to call that sigma of AB as well. Sigma of AB. For sigma like a sum of the factors is just sigma A times sigma B. Okay, it was slightly awkward because I introduced some notation midway through. Oh no! That was getting some sort of new device. Zoe's worried about maths. Worrying about your interviews or thinking your interviews didn't go very well is a classic interview experience, I'm afraid. By which I mean everyone. Everyone thinks that their interviews didn't go well. Except one friend I've got. One friend who doesn't agree with that. He says his interviews went really great and now he's an incredibly good mathematician. So, you know, some people get it. Some people get it all. Yeah, at some point, we might get people who don't know what the job was. There was someone last week, and I got someone during the Quintic Quest where I live streamed 9 till 5 Monday to Friday, which is not peak viewing hours for maths content on Twitch, but there was one person there who just typed maths into Twitch, hoping to find chill maths to relax and study to, and they'd found this. So, you know, I don't think there's a maths category. If you read the rules of Twitch very closely, it's not obvious that this is allowed. If anybody asks, we're playing a game. 9 to 5 Monday to Friday during a holiday. Yeah, so my holiday didn't seem to line up with anybody else's. I learned a lot of maths. That was a fun stream. What game are we playing though, right? Should we play Conway's Game of Life? Okay, in a hurry. If we think the Twitch police are coming, if you see any Twitch mods in chat, let me know and we'll switch to Conway's Game of Life. How long until we can afford tea time? Bear in mind, I've already made a cup of tea, so this is not brill. So there's this fact here about how the sum of factors works, and it's essentially because if A and B don't have any prime factors in common, then the sum of factors of each of those operate separately. The factors are either a factor of A, a factor of B, or a product of those, and you sort of end up with all of the factors. You have I'll try and sketch what's going on here. So you get 1 plus dot 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 plus. These are all the factors of A, and you get all the factors of B over here. And they get multiplied together. So these go up to A, I guess, and these go up to B. And they get multiplied together. Those are the factors of AB. No funny business. A more professional way to do that would be to break them both down into prime factorizations. P1 to the power of A1, P2 to the power of A2, Q1 to the whatever. But essentially that's what's going on. This works because it's co-prime and it's the right thing to have in mind. You can do slightly better than this, in fact, once you start thinking about prime factorizations. There's a neat formula for what the sum of factors is if you know the prime factorization. So if you know that something is if A is equal to 2, let's go primes. P1 to the A1, P2 to the A2, P3 to the A3. Oh, this is just the sort of thing I said I wasn't going to write down. Pn to the An with the pi prime and the ai, I guess, are just numbers. They're integers. I guess they're greater than or equal to 1. Okay. Then the factors of a work like this. Well, a factor of a has got to use those primes. It can't use other random prime numbers that you found lying around, because that's not going to be a factor, is it? It's going to be like 101, 9, isn't it? If the factor is a multiple of 101, so it's a. There's a little linking there between the prime factors. So all the factors are of the form p1 to the b1, p2 to the b2, p3 to the b3, pn to the an, with 0 less than or equal to bn less than or equal to an. Like you have to take at most that many p's. If a is a factor of 8 but not 16, it's only got kind of 3 2's in its prime factorization, then whoa. The factors can't have more 2's than that. It's actually using the fact that your factors, you can always multiply them up to get up to the number a. Anyway, so those are the factors, and the sum of those factors factorizes. Essentially, these bits of a are coprime. Well, coprime because they're using different primes. So their individual prime factors of those bits don't have any prime factors in common. So we can use this fact that the sum of factors factorizes, which I haven't proved, but I have illustrated, to say that you can just look at each prime one at a time. Why is that an not bn? Oh yeah, gosh, that should definitely be a bn. I got carried away. Whoops. Yeah, no, the last prime is not special. Thank you, Neutrino. Maybe I should write notes before I go live, you know? Just have like a... Nah, it'd be too much like a lecture. It's not a lecture. I'm supposed to be messing around. So the sum of the factors factorizes. You do each prime one at a time. So you look at how you might have p1 to the 0, or you might have p1 to the 1. Let's write that out. p1 to the 0, p1 to the 1, p1 to the 2, p1 to the 3, p1 to the a1. These are your possible choices for how many p's you put in. You're building a factor, and it might have this many p's in, p1s in it, and then it might have this many p2s in it. It might have 0 or 1 or 2, or all the way up to an. And you keep doing that for all your different primes. The number of factors of a is the product of ai plus 1 from minus 1 to n. Yes, correct. Which is worth having in your back pocket. You never know when you might need a fact like that. The number of factors of a is something you can calculate. So a cool person follow-up question to the thing you've just spotted. I'm thinking of a number where the number of factors is odd. So if I'm thinking of a number where the number of factors is odd, what can you tell me about the number? I've realised that question might be easy for a different reason. Zoe's right in there with square number and some sort of like robot smiley emoji. Is that just like, is that my default if I set it to robots? Okay. Yeah, and it's a square number because I wonder if Zoe's thinking about well, Zoe, you can tell me what are you thinking about. If you type colon bracket smiley, you get the robot. I wonder if I have control over that. Interesting. I'll let a cool think a bit as well, but on this side quest that we're on, if the number of factors is odd, then well, it means that the product Akul's talking about is odd. It's the product of lots of an plus 1s. If a single one of those brackets were even, then oh no, the sum would be even. Yes, the ai plus I must all be odd. So AI must be even for all of them, which means that you've got a load of even powers, which means it's a square number. Perhaps more directly, factors tend to pair up quite nicely. 30 is 3 times 10 and 2 times 15. So they tend to come in pairs, except if it's a square number, there's a middle one which doesn't. Right, okay. So maybe it's more obvious just by listing out the factors in pairs, but hey, what a nice tough question. This is what we're up to. We're looking for multi-perfect numbers. Hi, Robbie G. Good. Okay. Meanwhile, Super Snowman's been looking at the egg problem. You are trying to do a 5-dimensional maze. So, new viewers, or people who haven't joined us before, a few weeks ago, I set people a kind of maze problem to explore this maze with really weird rules about where the maze is. People really took it to heart. We talked about it about 2 weeks in a row. Also crept over onto my other live stream, which I do for work. I've decided I was talking too much about eggs. No way! So his Imperial interview was all about the number of factors. Hey! There's a I mean, this is the answer to a very famous interview question. So the interview question works like this. You've got a row of 100 light switches, and lots of people who have opinions about the light switches. The first person flips all of the light switches. The second person flips every other light switches numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, every other light switch. The third person flips every third light switch. The fourth person flips every fourth light switch, and so on. So the light switches. He has that one. Oh my goodness, that's a very famous interview question. We've also used it as a past, the people who work at Oxford have used it as a past maths question as well. Very famous. Because it's factors, right? It's about counting the number of switchy, flippy flips. And the light switch contains a kind of even odd thing. So, wow, cool. There you go. Yeah, and I've said light switches instead of lockers. I can reskin puzzles. What do I say? I've helped Zoe, if nothing else. The existence of the light switch puzzle, which is really... Why are so many perfect logicians in jail? They're just too dangerous. Okay. Here's the game that I want to try and play. It's to try and fix a number to make it multi-perfect. My plan is that we discover a multi-perfect number, like a massive one. None of this 120 stuff. But we kind of choose the powers to be just right. Because what I want, I suppose, is that... let me think about what I want quickly. And there's some geometric series in here. So square bracket, because I don't want to go into the details too much. Geometric series. This gives you a kind of something like P1 to the A1 plus 1 minus 1 over P1 minus 1 or something. It is that, isn't it? I think it is that. Yeah, congratulations on the Imperial offer as well. Oh, they don't do it for maths, just CS. But then they asked you the sum of the counting the factors question. Okay. I've got a remix in mind for that puzzle, but I want to finish this idea first. I was definitely going somewhere with this. I was going to then divide. Now. Oh gosh, I've gone off screen again. Let me get better at that. Now. Divide by A to check if it's a multi-perfect. And this is going to be the challenge, I think. So divide by A means dividing by P to the A, which gives us something like P1 to the A1 plus 1 minus 1, P1 to the A1, P1 minus 1, and then the same with the other primes. Pn to the An plus 1 minus 1, Pn minus 1, Pn to the A. Is that a whole number? And My plan is that you just try and stick these things together. It's not a great plan, but it's what I want to try and do, I think. All of the perfect numbers that we know, the ones where this hits the number 2, all of the perfect numbers we know are just made of 2 prime numbers. And even more than that, they're just made of the prime 2 and some other massive prime number. So let's write that out. All known perfect numbers. Oi, there we go. We're trying out new text today. All known perfect numbers are... All known perfect numbers are like... What are they like? 2 to the A1, P2 to the A2 of this format. And actually, A2 is 1. They're all of this form, all the ones we know. And I think you can prove that all the even ones are like this. We looked at that on the stream a few weeks ago. I think integers are better than multiples of 10. The integers come up all over the place because they do piano arithmetic, or piano arithmetic gives you the integers. So there's lots of times when you have something a bit like piano arithmetic and you end up with a copy of the integers. So if you think about mathematical induction, where you prove a base case and then you prove the following cases, that's got the structure of the integers. I guess you could... the powers of the issue here is maybe that the powers of 10 are just sort of isomorphic to the integers, so multiplication instead of addition, but you know, integers are pretty good. It's more than the fact that they form any nice mathematical structure. It's more that any mathematical structure kind of has this thing going on. What's the fact about rings? All rings are like isomorphic to subrings of the integer subrings. I should know that. What do the integers have going on? So is the smallest non-empty set that's closed under addition is isomorphic to the integers? It's going to be very hard for me to convince you that the integers are better than the even numbers, because the even numbers are almost the same thing as the integers. Until you start thinking about division or something. Yeah, we've gone quite deep. What's good about the integers? Math and Ash has brought us back to earth. They're good for counting things. Yeah, that is quite good. I think, yeah, closed under non-empty set closed under addition would be, which is a different way of saying the piano arithmetic thing. Oh no. Oh no. Good. So the reals have lots of properties that the integers don't have, like being closed. Let's stick this in here. We're doing 2 things at once today. That's how this works. So it's not very interesting though, is it? So I guess the idea here would be something like you start with a power of 2. Oh, hello. That's last week. You start with a power of 2. Start with a power of 2. Like 16. And then you'll get sum of factors will be 4 for that prime. For that prime, you do the formula. So the sum of its factors involve adding up the powers of 2 up to 16. So you get 31 divided by 16. And then if the numerator is prime, if the numerator is prime, it's 1 less than power of 2 and it's prime, so then you multiply the original number by that prime, so you get 16 times 31, and then the new sum of factors will be over the number. I probably need a word for that, like abundancy or something. Will be 31 over 16 multiplied by the bracket that comes from P2, this 31 prime, which would be 32 over 31. Now, it's not a coincidence that this is... Let's see. So this numerator over here is 1 less than twice 16. And we wrote it down here as well because it's prime, and then added 1 to it. So now we've got exactly twice as much as the number over there. So it's kind of not a coincidence that if that happens, we'll get a perfect number. Okay, so I think that's the kind of logic, right? That this is 1 less than twice the denominator, and then we'll add 1 because it's prime, and we'll add 1 to get the new numerator over there for that prime bit of the sum of the factors. So that's where we'll get 2 from. Wow emoji in chat. If it's not prime, then maybe we can do something different, and that's where I want to look next. So by the way, 16 times 31 is... So 16 times 31 is totally huge. It's 496, right? 496. But that's a perfect number. So then for the rest of the powers of 2, I kind of want to try this to see if we can kind of fix them or make them perfect numbers or fix them. Because if it's not prime, we don't have to stop playing the game. We can maybe do some other fixes on them. Let's try some other powers of 2. In fact, let's try all of them. Maybe I'm getting carried away. 7 over 4. Oh, so that's fine. So you'd multiply by 7. So if we start with 4, so this is my number up here, which I'm going to put in a circle until I regret it. Then we'll multiply by 7 so that we get a 7 down here. And because 7's prime, the numerator up here is just 1 plus P2. So we'll get 8, which is 2. So brilliant, this is a perfect number. Okay, next try. 8 downstairs. So we'll have a 9 upstairs. We've discovered the perfect number 28 up here. 8 downstairs, we'll put 9 upstairs. 9's not prime, but it's 3 squared. Can we do anything with that? Can we do anything with that? Well, if I put 3 squared downstairs, so my number, well then upstairs, okay, so 3 squared's not prime. It's not just 1 plus 3 squared up here. It's 1 plus 3 cubed. The formula was something like p to the next one minus 1 divided by p minus 1, but I'm not really thinking about that. This is like 1 plus 3 plus 9, which is 13. And the 13 doesn't cancel with the 8, but maybe I could keep going. So maybe this is just sort of hopium or something, where I just sort of keep going. 13 is prime, so I write a 14 over here. And then maybe I put in a 7. And that'll give me an 8. And now if I'm very lucky, the factors of 2 will all balance out. So I've got my 9 cancelling with a 3 squared. I've got 13 cancelling with 13. I've got... What is this? This can't be right. It's looking like the number 2. What have I done wrong? Was this not an 8 in the first place? This was not a 9 in the first place. Chat, help. This was not a 9. This was a mistake. That's a shame. Almost discovered a perfect number, except just wrong. Welcome to Chill Maths, where the sum of the factors of 8 is not 9. The sum of the, yeah, sorry, Mountain Ash, get in faster, get in faster. This is all rubbish. This should have been a 15. Okay. Ah dear, 15. Cheers. Chill Maths, where 8 is, just say prime. That's the mistake I made. Louise got it perfectly. I thought 8 was prime. I have made tea very expensive. People saw that in chat, I think. I made the mistake that my rewards were too cheap and people were able to buy them multiple times a stream. Multiple people, multiple times. And I got Maria Returner in chat. Welcome, first time chat, Maria Returner, who followed a little while ago and has now seen me believe that 8 is prime. Okay, 15. Let's play again. Let's not talk about this. Okay, let's go. Yeah, great stuff. Rewind, reset. Hey, so the sum of factors of 8 is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, which is 15, of course. And then maybe we can multiply by... Let's do the 5 next. So we put the 5 downstairs. Then you get 6 upstairs. And then we've got so many 3s because I've got the 3 from over here and a 3 from over here. So I probably have to put a 3 squared downstairs and get 13 upstairs. You kind of whack down one whack-a-mole and another one pops up, right? 3 squared, now we've got 13. So what am I going to do? Put 14 upstairs, I suppose. This is starting to look like the thing I just crossed out. And then the 7, you get rid of that with an 8. I think that might have worked. Has this worked? Can't really go wrong again, right? I think this might be the number 4. Quick check. I'm going to do some cancellation, but leave it as it was. Cancellation works like this. 15 cancels with a 3 and a 5. The 8s cancel like this. 13s cancel. And yeah, this is the number 4, because there's a 2 here and a 2 here. We've discovered a 4 fixed number, I think. A 4 fixed number. We fixed it! It works! And Zoe in chat says that it is 32,760. Okay. Oh, we did it! It worked! The method came through. Careful with the factorials. Oh yeah. People putting loads of exclamation marks in chat. Oh, there we go. We fixed one. Okay. This is the plan for the stream now. And hopefully you can play along at home. Your starting number doesn't have to be a power of 2. And you don't have to fix it in the same way that I have. But here's some tips. If you get a prime upstairs, a prime factor upstairs, then you'll need to put it downstairs somewhere. Here are some side effects. You don't know that it's going to stop. You don't know it's going to terminate. You might be playing this forever and you might get a bit stuck. Because if you hit the same prime factor upstairs, which means that you want more of it downstairs, then you might have to go back and change something, and then you can get stuck in a loop of just constantly changing things. And you don't know that the number you get out at the end is going to be 2 or 3 or anything you care about. Here we've discovered a 4 perfect number. It's the sum of its factors is 4 times itself. But we didn't know that was going to happen. So you can't use this to prove really anything because I can't even explain what's going on. Time to find a citation, I think. Chat. Challenge for you, I think, chat, is to build one of these yourself. We've tried out what happens for 4, 8 and 16. But even then, when I say what happens for 8, I made some choices along the way here to deal with that 5, to deal with the 3s afterwards, and then to deal with the consequences without bringing in any extra factors. So I picked 13 for no reason. So I picked 13 because I had a 13 upstairs from 1 plus 3 plus 9, and I wanted it to cancel. I suppose it's not even clear I need to make it cancel. Yeah, if I don't bring in the 13, was I already in an interesting place? 5, 3. Oh, I kind of have to keep going because I've got all these 2s downstairs. It's weird, right? You don't need to cancel stuff off the top. You don't need to cancel stuff off the top because having stuff on the top just makes it an integer. But you kind of might as well. As you write down more and more primes, you pick up more factors of 2 along the way, just as a participation prize, because your odd primes, right? When you add 1, you're going to get even stuff upstairs. So you can find more 2s if you just keep playing. Could you not keep multiplying by 7 over 4, 8 over 7? Right, you can't do it again. You can't do it again, and this is why we're using the fact that these separate parts I've written down, 8, 5, 3 squared, 13 and 7, the bits in the different bubbles, are coprime. In our formula for the sum of the factors, we had these kind of separate prime powers. And something that goes wrong is if you put another 7 in, then the sum of the factors isn't 1 plus 7 times 1 plus 7, because that double counts. So the sum of factors of 7 squared is not 1 plus 7 times 1 plus 7, because that kind of double counts the 7 factor, in the same way that like square numbers have that kind of awkward repeated factor. It's really annoying. It works for coprime things. So if you have like 7 times 5, then you can just multiply together 1 plus 7 times 1 plus 5 to regain all of those beautiful factors of 35. So we're using this kind of separation trick quite a lot. It's really irritating. And it's that thing we were talking about before, about the repeated factor of a square number in the middle. Okay, I'm going to look up a citation for this, because I've now decided that this is my favourite method. I now love it. It worked live on a stream. So I'm going to look up the citation. In chat, you can let me know if you can find something similar. Other limitations, by the way, it doesn't. There's no indication that this is the smallest 4 perfect number. It's just a 4 perfect number. There might be loads of them. We haven't checked numbers in between. A few weeks ago on the stream, Zoe built some code to check sequentially, like loop through the numbers, checking if they were multi-perfect or not. Build your own multi-perfect. See if I can find the citation for this. Yeah, there we go. It's in Math Horizons. So this is where I got the algorithm from, or the kind of method, or whatever we're calling it. A DIY project, construct your own multiply perfect number, and they tell us a bit about perfect numbers. I have this method in with these separate prime factors. Brilliant stuff. And they have some other tips along the way. So they discover some other larger ones, which I'm not going to show you. But they have weird charts and things. But it's got some limitations. Where do they say this is from? 3 undergrads invented this algorithm, Seth, Emily, and Yanchi. When was this? It had been done before in the 1800s. May have found a 798 perfect number. Oh wow! Once you've got your sequence of brackets, so along the way you've been multiplying together numbers, right? Like this, to write down your brackets. You may have got to 798 on the numerator. That'd be huge. Do you want to describe your sequence or something, and then we can decide what's going on. You do it bit by bit if you like. Okay. This is exciting. We might be about to see a 798 perfect number. That'd be very perfect. So shout out to you authors on screen, and the paper which I saw in the... What is this magazine called? It was a magazine of the MAA? DIY project. If I hit contents, do I get back to something? Okay, I don't really want a tutorial for the website. Not that one. Math Horizons, that's the name. That's the thing we're looking for. So citation, Math Horizons, for this attempt that we're doing. You started with 32 over 31. Change your numerator to the denominator. So you started with the prime 31 to get 32 over 31. And then change your numerator, so you went for 2 to the 5 next, which gave you, some of the factors here is 63. And then you've gone for, I don't know what the sum of the factors of 63 is. Is this what we're doing? Like this amount of work? Tell me if I'm doing too much work. 63 is 3 squared times 7. So I guess you multiply down some 3 squareds and a 7 down here. Yeah? It took ages. We've only been live half an hour. So this 9 is like a 13 and an 8. And then what? Because now I'm a bit worried because I can't put this 8. I can't just multiply by 15 over 8 because I've already got some factors of 2 in there. So I'm worried about what to do next. I'm happy with the 13. I've seen that loop cycle stacking bit before. What are we going to call them? It's just quite nice the way this 13 3 squared stuff fits together. Maybe I'm out. They cancel out later. Well, I can't. I just Is there some computer assistance going on? So I guess something I haven't said maybe is that you can't have separate terms in this expression to do with the same prime. Different primes is okay, but I won't let you repeat a prime. If your plan is to have some factors of 2 here, then it's not just a question about cancelling out. It's the fact that this is not the sum of the factors anymore. This is sort of not correct. Because really, instead of having these 2 terms for the 2 to the 5 bit and the 2 to the 3 part, really we should put those together and get something over 2 to the 8. So maybe it cancels out, but the things that are cancelling are no longer correct expressions for the number of factors. This game's hard, right? This game's really hard. No worries. Okay. That's a shame. A 798 perfect number would have been, I believe, the best ever. I think no one's got past 11. I think that's true. Nobody knows if there are loads of these. Right. Yes, a cool version. Let's go. Question in chat. It's trying to prove that sigma of n over n is unbounded. Could you keep multiplying by the next prime? So you're trying to work out the big product of p plus 1 over p over the primes. So p is prime. And you want to know, is that unbounded? Right? Because if it's unbounded, then that's good news for us, our hopes of making large perfect numbers, or multiply perfect numbers that are very, very multiply perfect. Because we want this to be unbounded so that we can, our hopes and dreams are that we can make this thing absolutely huge. So that we can make the Rhodes 798 perfect number, which, right, obviously we can't do that if the product of all of these things. No, because you can put p squared in, right? Yeah, there's a kind of... You could do that geometric sum for different primes. You sort of imagine what would happen if you put in high powers of all the primes. Would that be good? Anyway, I think this is unbounded anyway, so this is good enough. I think so. Now let me try and work out why. So this product is, I believe, so sketch proof, I believe it's bigger than 1 plus the sum of 1 over, I mean bigger than, I think they're both infinite, but I believe it's bigger than the sum of 1 over some sort of vague idea about binomial expansion. To say, oh, this is loads of terms, 1 plus 1 over p. And all multiplied out, whoop, you'll get loads of cross terms which are all positive, but you'll get also in there lots of terms like 1 over p, and I think the sum of the reciprocals of the primes is unbounded. Let me Google search that. Yeah, Wikipedia says that's unbounded. Proved by Euler in 1737. There you go. Unbounded, Euler, 1737. So if this is the case, this is my sketch proof, then yeah, sure, it's fine. That product is really big. Unbounded, I've written on the board. not obvious that this is unbounded, by the way. So this is like a harder version of that 1 over n fact, which I'm going to prove on the board, just while hopefully people at home are messing around with strings of numbers and going to different places. So it's not obvious that this is unbounded at all. There's this sort of semi-famous thing, right, that this sum is unbounded because you can group the terms together. You can group the terms together like this. Oh, it's been a while since I did this calculation. Let's go. These two are both bigger than or equal to 1/4, so this sum is bigger than or equal to 1/2. And then the trick is to take twice as many terms. These ones are all at least as big as 1/8, and there are 4 of them. So that's at least as big as 4/8, which is also 1/2, and then keep going. So you take twice as many terms each time. They're at least as large as the smallest one. So that's unbounded. The challenge here is, for which we need Euler. What if I only have 1 over primes? And then it's a hard question about the density of primes, I guess, to say how many there are. Oh, great, that's brilliant stuff, Euler, thank you. Euler, possibly, according to Wikipedia, actually proved that the sum over p primes less than n is bigger than or equal to something that grows log n plus 1 minus log pi squared over 6, which is, to be honest, just Euler dabbing on us, right? That plus pi squared over 6 is in there as well. That's like a little bit of personal branding from Euler. Great stuff. Thank you, Wikipedia, for this fact. Right. Sure. Yeah. Some people believe that. Well, no, let's not get too much into it, but there's a way of assigning values to divergent series. If you're going to assign values to divergent series, once the sum is unbounded, then I actually can't remember what people think this one is. -2 or something? LaRue made me think of it, with also some comedy gold. Right, okay. Should we do some more? I was having fun with this. I'm going to do some more on the board. Sorry if you're playing along at home. We're going to try 32 downstairs next and see what happens. This is the tough one because it's got 63 upstairs. So I've kind of got 2 directions I could go with this. I could try and take out the 3 squared. This is not prime, it's 3 squared times 7. And it's the one I was trying to do at the start of the stream. So 2 directions. You can try and deal with the 3s first, or we can deal with the 7s. Once you've dealt with a prime, it's pretty hard to come back without changing everything. So maybe, 2 routes in the forest, and I chose the one less travelled or something. I'll take the 7. Oh, that hasn't really got me anywhere. Herbs on 32 as well. Maybe I should take 64 or something instead. Let chat play with this one. Oh yeah, chat's playing with this one, right? Cool. Chat's playing with this one. I'm gonna get 64. There's kind of two obvious things you could try first. Try and it's so weird. You kind of want to cancel stuff on the top, because if you don't cancel, you're just introducing new primes downstairs, and introducing new primes downstairs feels really bad. But you've got to try something. Is 127 prime? These are the questions that challenge me. Oh, it looks prime, doesn't it? Is 127 prime? Yeah? Cool. Brilliant. These have got a name, by the way. They've got quite a famous name. These the question of oh gosh, it'd be really nice if 2 to the n plus 1 were prime. That would be great for finding perfect numbers. Those are called most n primes. Oh, phew. Okay, what is 64 times 127? Is that the next? I suppose I do sort of know that it's 8128. Happens to the next perfect number is quite a lot larger, which I think gives us lots of lots of room for adventures. So we try 128. Then the thing I should write upstairs is 255, which, oh my goodness, is 5 times 3 times 17. So, you know, good luck, everyone. Can we fix it? Can we fix it? I want to do the 5 first because that will bring in some more 3s. And I'm going to have to do the 17 at some point as well. I don't really want to think about doing 17 twice. 51 definitely 3 times 17? Yeah. Okay, we're good, we're good. DIY, eh? I really want chat to succeed on the 32 case, which we skipped over on stream. I want that more than anything else. Okay, so I've multiplied this by 5 and by 17, which has already made it huge, brought in an extra factor of 65 for some reason. And I've got so many 3s upstairs now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I think my only hope is that this is just some massive power of 2 would be nice, because I need some 2s. If it's got lots of factors of 2, I'm done. So I'd quite like this to be friendly. Oh gosh, hit me with it. What is this? So that's 3 to the 4 is 81. I need to do 1 plus 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81. It's funny that I've got a formula for this and I still prefer to add together term by term. 30 and 90 is 120, so it's 121, which is frustratingly 11 squared. So you grit your teeth and you put an 11 squared downstairs, and you're supposed to write up here this will be 1 plus 11 squared. 132, 133. Is 133 prime? It looks prime. That would be very nice if it was prime. Except 134 doesn't look very friendly at all. Am I going somewhere with this? Oh my goodness, it's not prime at all. It's 7 times 19. That looked so prime. How was I supposed to tell? That's 140 take away 7. Okay, right. Phew. Some computer assistance. Can I just fix this with a 7 and a 19? Let's put the 7 in. Let's put the 19 in. Gosh. And I've got a 20. 2 squared times 5. Oh, I've already used a 5! I've already used a 5! So now what? So now, how do I fix it? Do I go back and try and surgery and be like, actually, I didn't want 6 over 5. I wanted... Oh, this is going to be poking out one hole, another thing pops back in. Does 7 times 19 really count, right? I think you can do RSA with it, right? If it's the product of 2 really large primes, then I think it's cryptographically secure. So please don't take advice on security from me. What am I going to get down here? I want more 5s. 1 plus 5 plus 25 is 31? Yeah? Is it? Could be. Oh, now I've got too many 3s downstairs. This is awful. I've got too many 3s downstairs now, because I only put all these 3s downstairs because I had to, because of the 6. What about if we go 5 cubed? Oh no, we've got way too many 5s downstairs. Oh, this is starting to be a bit awful. Was it a 5 perfect number if you keep the 6 over 5? Oh. Oh yeah. Maybe. Hey up. I've gone northern. That's probably cultural appropriation, isn't it? You think that's 5 perfect number? Time to cancel some fractions. It's good to. Sorry, thanks are cool. You said it twice as well, so sorry you had to say it twice. Your claim is that this cancels down. Let's try it. Was I done already? Embarrassing. Really? 5, 3s, and 17s. So we got the 17 and we got the 3s. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got exactly 4 of them, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving us with factors of 2 here and here. Write in the 2s before you forget. Cancelling is hard. The 11s we sorted, and then 1, 3, 3 we sorted like this. To leave... Oh yeah, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. And then brilliantly, the last couple, 64, 1, 2, 8. Yeah, cool. No, you're absolutely right, I think. I think we just got a 5 perfect number. And I didn't even notice. Thank you, chat. It's quite large. it's It's a reasonably sized one. What is this? 5 times 7 times 81 times 121 times 7 times 19. Yeah, that's a number. That's the number 14182439040, and Akul can have credit for that because I was about to cross it out. I think I've seen that number before. I've got a follow-up fact, I think. Yeah, 14182439040. I believe that is, so Cool's number on here. I think this is the smallest. This is the smallest known 5 perfect number. And quite possibly the only. And I don't just mean the only one discovered. or do I? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. No, hang on. I shouldn't say things like that without looking them up. Oh no, there's loads. Sorry, it's not the no, it's not the only one known at all. There are like 65 of them. Yeah, thanks. OEIS has got a list of them. I'm also looking up lists. Smallest. I don't know if it's known for sure to be the smallest. The thing about these numbers is that people believe there's only finitely many for each number above 2, which is quite a strong belief. People have checked up to quite large numbers, much larger than this thing on the board right now, and not found very many more. If you're looking for 3 perfect numbers, so we saw 120 at the start of the stream, and we saw that's all we've seen actually. We've only seen 120. There are 6 known 3 perfect numbers. The most recently discovered one was discovered in 1643, according to a list I'm looking at. So that's not a proof. We haven't found any of these for 400 years, and also haven't been able to prove that we've got all of them. That's actually older than Fermat's theorem, right? So you could solve a kind of 400-year-old problem if you could prove that there are exactly 6 3 perfect numbers. It's quite hard to say that with a big pause in the middle. Cool. It's about half time. I'd quite like to go and make a cup of tea, which is awkward because I've just set up a kind of chat threshold where someone tells me to do that. Streaming's weird, yo. I'm really pleased we found that number. I mean, no one can afford the cup of tea. I've set the numbers too high. Right, okay. I feel like we had some choices along the way as well. Take it is too much. Oh, I checked last week. It's because you've built up points over weeks or something. So you can afford each. Yeah, this is awkward, right? If you've got a small number of loyal viewers, then their points tallies are all in sync, right? So if I don't set the tea threshold carefully, then what I get is no tea, followed by one stream where 10 different people tell me I have to drink tea, and then not again for months. So there's an interesting balance there. I kind of need to stagger people out. Power of 2. Yeah, no, we'll do that. Should we set it to a 4-digit number that's on screen, like 8,128? Would that be fun? There's a follower goal if ever I've seen one. How do I do this? So I'm going to motes. Rewards? No. Rewards is how I get you to get 3 months of Game Pass or something, which I don't understand. Okay, how do I do this? So let's edit this to be 4,096. Save it. Hydrate can stay at 500. Oh, wait, let's make it 502. 512 or something. Oh, brilliant, cool. That'll throw off everyone's numbers as well, because I think you get awarded them in multiples of 10. Cool, right, good. Okay, we did the thing. If you subscribe, you get more points. What is this? What is this madness? Do subscribers get more points? Oh my goodness. I can also do this like pot thing. Like the icon is a cauldron full of points. The Tee. The icon is a cauldron where I think I set some like total, and you're all supposed to donate points in order to cause something to happen. But it's called a community challenge, which I think is playing on the word community in a little bit of an uncomfortable way. Yeah, I got to put an icon on it, right? Got to put a little T icon. It's just default blob at the moment. Oh my goodness. So the challenge actually had like a long time duration and something. So, we can do this, but do you put a chip into it? I don't understand. Do you redeem your points, or is it just how many you're raising, or putting in the pot? I have no idea. You can use your points for gambling. I shouldn't laugh. It's like, this is how we became a sort of gambling thing. Oh yeah, I set up like a wagery thing. It's in Cloudbot, I think, or in the Streamlabs thing that powers Cloudbot. Is this what it's called? Like wagering? Where you'd like bet, I don't know, points on can chat find a way to complete this into a multi-perfect number? And you're like, well, 100 yes, 100 no, and it'd be some sort of automatic thing. Let's have a look. Sounds fun. Gambling's not fun. This is a responsible stream. How do I do I'm also just buying time, right, so that people can fill up on Powers of 2. If I set up a prediction, okay, how do I do a prediction? It's not in Essentials. Oh, I don't understand. There's too many options. Search Streamlabs. Prediction. That's not right at all. Oh, channel points predictions for a Twitch feature. Okay, how do I do that? Oh my goodness, there's too many features. Wait, this thing has so many features. Do I need to be a partner to do this? So it's going to be, why do I have a... Oh my goodness. Initial setup, right, okay. Locate the start prediction button. Okay, we can do this. This sounds fun. This sounds like it's going to revolutionise the way the game works, the way the stream works. Oh my goodness. But no, okay, add, start a prediction. Okay. Start a prediction. Will, Chat and James find a multi-perfect number? Oh no. Will we... There's a really strict character limit. Starting day 2. From day 2. And the outcomes are yes and no. This is great. The submission period. How long viewers have to guess the outcome? You have 5 minutes. Okay, go. Okay, got it. Has that done a thing? I think it's done a thing. And there's some like gambling that you can do. G'day, and there's a 5 minute cooldown on that in chat. I don't know. I'm also going to start trying because that feels like the fun way to do this. Oh, okay. So numbers are coming in. Oh, good. Okay. I think it updates the odds or something as you do it, so it might be fun. And chat's been trying this one already for quite a while, right? So it's possible you already know that there's nothing out there. Because you hit this 13, 14 kind of loop, at which point you want another 7. So that's pretty bad. Or is this just done? No, it's not enough 2s. Because there's only 2, 4, 8, 16. So where are we right now? So a quick check-in. Non-believer. Oh look, and you have a little 2 next to your name. That flags you as a non-believer, somebody who's voted no. Oh, this is good. Okay. And the gamble is by the end of the stream, which is about 4 o'clock. Okay, so we need more ideas. because just cancelling out the 7 and the 3 squared brings us into this kind of loop. Let's quick check what we've got at the moment. So the 13's cancelled, the 9's cancelled, the 7's cancelled. We'd be left with 16, so there'd be a bonus factor of 2. 7 over 2. Which is annoying. But maybe we can fix it because that's 7 squared. So if we do some sort of swap, that 7's just giving us 8 at the moment. So maybe we could swap it up to a 7 squared. 1 plus 7 plus 49 is 57. Oh no, because 57 is 3 times 19, which is now going to just mess up all sorts of things. So I think I do want to go that way because 20 is not that bad. 20 is what you get when you write down 19. 3 cubed is pretty bad. Let's give it a go. So over here, 63 over 32. And we're going to try and cancel out that 7. Just bring in some more, by bringing in some more 7s downstairs. I'm hoping for a 13 at some point, by the way, from a 3 squared, so that we can kill off we get another 7 later on. This doesn't feel realistic, does it? The winners will get their bet back, and the losers' bet are split between the winners in an equal ratio to the bet sizes. Okay, so it's not really an odds thing. Okay, there's not really odds there, right? There's just being correct. You've got 7 squared downstairs. You already tried this. I may have entered a kind of competition against better prepared people, which is sort of unsurprising because it's me we're talking about, but it's sort of also a little bit surprising. So my plan is to write a 3 cubed down here, which is, I realise, not going to give me a 13. Did I want a 13? I still need another 7 upstairs. Why have I written down 3 cubed? Oh, 1 from here and 2 from over there. My 3 cubed is going to give me a 1, 3, 9, 27, which is awkward because it's 30, 40 upstairs, which has now got, we've now got 2 5s in there. So maybe I'll write 5 squared down here because I haven't used any 5s yet. 1 plus 5 plus 25 is 31. And then, am I done? No, because I still need to get another 7. So I think this has got a 7 downstairs. I think this currently doesn't work. Oh, someone's gone to 7 cubed in chat as well. Grim. Do the non-believers have opinions on how long I'm going to keep trying? Or whether someone else from chat comes in and... Oh, everyone who's talking in chat has got a little 2 flag next to them. What the current number's like? Pretty even. 400, 350. In terms of bits. But... we saw 400 and went, nah, okay. Yeah, Imaginash thinks I will keep trying. Oh, it feels more motivated just to try now that people have got channel points on the line. Quick check that my cancellation's good. The 19 leaves me with a 3. 3's cancel one of the 7s. Over here I've got some 5s that bring this down to 4 and 8. And my 31's obviously fine. So then I'll be left with 32, which is huge. But I've got a 7 downstairs. How am I going to get a 7 upstairs? I could bring a 13 in. Don't love bringing 13 in. How about we go the other way and put more 3s in? At some point you're going to have some 7s in. And the things above the 7, you're kind of slots for... Well, maybe we don't put the 7s in, right? Maybe we just keep 7s. End on 7, right? End on 7. We'll keep the 7. We're going for a 7 perfect number. Nobody's found a 14 perfect number ever, so probably not going to do that. Right, okay, I think the betting part is now going, so goodness knows how. I think I resolve it at some point in here. Manage prediction. It was 50-50 in the end. People balanced it. Okay. So let's try putting in, I think it was 7. So what are your choices on the 7s? No, we're not cancelling the 7s. We're going to try not cancelling the 7s. We're going to put loads of 3s downstairs. So our choices here are just having 2 3s. For a 21 perfect number. No, let's not. If we had a nice cycle that was just using weird primes and gave 2. But all the perfect numbers we know, all the perfect numbers, those kind of closed loops that give you 2 involve the prime 2, and we started there. Maybe we should start with a different power, right? Like not starting from a power of 2, but it seems to be the systematic thing I'm trying at the moment. Nobody's found any odd multi-perfect numbers before. This is slightly balanced out, right? Balanced between what I've seen attempted before and what I think is going on. So this burns out without giving me very many 2s to cancel off all the many 2s that I put down here. It starts to become a bit surprising that anybody can find any multi-perfect numbers that are multiples of 32. In fact, I don't know if there are any. Look at this balancing act between what I looked up before and vague memory of that versus attempting to do things. An exciting play would be to look at the list of multi-perfect numbers, which you can find by Googling, and check if any of them involve factors of 32. If none of them do, then the odds are really in no's favour. But the betting is closed now, so we're all good. Okay. What am I doing? I've burnt out without getting to, anything interesting. Oh, feeling quite stuck because, the alternative is to just bring in other random primes and then hope that they cancel. Which doesn't feel very sciencey anymore. What's that ever done? What have you done? Have you bet no and then found one? That would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate, I'm afraid. Please do. I'm projecting a lot onto this. Oh wait, yeah, that's what's happened. This was a mistake. So I've created a scenario where I'm trying to solve a maths problem, and for a kind of community spirit thing, I'm trying to get chat involved. But I've also, through the very same platform, given Twitch a way to not talk about it. Okay, look at the no votes in chat, mobbing there. It's just peer pressure now. Cool's happy. Ah, right. Okay. Well, I better go. Where am I going to go? Herb was talking in chat about 19s, and like the mouthful of tea. Tea is so far away. I've accidentally divided chat as well. This prediction thing is weirdly powerful. Instant create 2 factions. Look, people are apologising. Instantly create 2 factions and then also pitch both of them against me. Because I'm going to try and find it now. Let's go for a 7 cubed. Sees the 7 cubed and thinks, we're safe. My thought for 7 cubed is that 19 is not very fun. 7 cubed. It's at least we're gonna go down in flames, right? 340, 350, and another 50 is the beautiful 400. That can't be right. There's just no way that I've added together those numbers correctly. That's too nice. What's happened there? What's happened there? My chat's got no incentive to help me with maths, but I think it's 400. It is 400. So then can I hit this with some 5s? 400's got so many 2s in it, right? Has it got enough 2s? Not quite enough 2s. Not quite enough 2s, right? Because it's got 2. It needs one more. Oh, amazing. 7 cubed is my new favourite number. Is it 16 times 25? Brilliant, thank you. You don't even want me to succeed. It sounds so awful. You don't want me to do well at this. So I'm going to put my 5 squared downstairs. Surely I want to put 5 squared downstairs. Ah, no, let's think about 5s, right? Think about 5s. Because you could have 5 and 6. 5 and 6 across the line? 5 and 6 across the line. 5 and 6 across the line. I think that does it. Because I think that does it. Because I'll be left with 1 5 upstairs and a 3. No, this would be 15 perfect, which doesn't sound. Many powers of 7 short. Oh yes, so many powers of 7 short. Thank you, Zoe. So many powers, factors of 7. Where am I going to get all my 7s from? So many 7s. I need something to appear upstairs with a multiple of 49 in it and nothing weird downstairs. Yeah, this method seems stupid now. Yeah. That's very spicy. 25, 31, 31, 32. We can go. Well, how am I going to get 49 upstairs? Nothing sums to 49, right? I guess I don't really understand these powers of primes. 343 not being so good to me anymore. I'd forgotten I had to kill off all those 7s. I've got a lot of 7s to kill. What's going on? Hi, Super Snowman. We're playing a game where you start with a guess for a multi-perfect number, like 128. Is that multi-perfect? The answer is no, because its sum of factors is 255 and the number itself is 128. But maybe we could multiply 128 by something else so that we get a string, and if you multiply it by 5, then by 17, then by 3 to the power of 4, then 11 squared, then 7, then 19. If you do all that multiplication, then you get a lot of cancellation and you end up with a whole number. And each of these is kind of motivated by trying to get some cancellation going. At the most prime, I guess it's kind of the most primes you write downstairs without getting anything tricky upstairs. Right, okay. And we've just tried to complete this sequence and failed. We got 3.5, but I don't think anybody's interested in a 3.5 perfect number. It was pretty good. I guess. Am I going to go back into the coalface and try and find other ways to multiply this up? Putting extra 7s downstairs now feels really bad. Extra 3s I can maybe get away with. Have I tried putting extra 3s downstairs? I have not tried putting extra 3s downstairs. So we're going to go 63 over 32. The sort of hope here is that you've got to kill off all these powers of 2 and then bringing in some extra powers of 3. We decided that 3 squared was a bit awkward because you get 1 plus 3 plus 9, and then we kind of ran out of ideas after the 13. If I put in 3 cubed, then upstairs the sum of the factors will include this 27 as well. I feel like I have tried this. 30, 40. Am I going around in circles? Have I been here before? I have kind of been here before, but not exactly here. That's pretty nice because it's got 8 in it, so almost there. But we've got to kill off a 5 as well. So 10 put in the 5 and get a 6. Now, how many 3s have I got? I've now got the right number of 3s. I've got 8. Not quite enough 2s. Not quite enough 2s. Not quite enough 2s. That's a real shame. Is this the one I had before? Is this the 7 over 2 perfect number? What's a different 7 over 2 perfect number? It's because I keep the 7 upstairs. I get 3s. I get 8, 16. 2 downstairs. So this is, I believe, 7 over 2. Can I multiply this by some random... No, we've talked about this. Multiply by some random chunk of stuff that equals 2, because nobody knows any of those except for ones with factors of 2. Nobody knows any large, odd, perfect numbers. That's what I need right now. a really large odd perfect number that's co-primed to all the stuff I've just been doing, so that the numerator is just twice as much as the volume and it multiplies the 7/2 up to a nice integer. 3 cubed hasn't quite worked out for me, unless do I kind of gamble it and go for 3 to the 4, like even more 3s? So 90 and 40 and 131, which we've seen before today, is 19 times 7. No, 133 is 30, 90. Wait, what? Doing a lot of very embarrassing Google search calculations today. 121, which we've seen before, is 11. Gives us an 11. Oh, is that nice? Um, 10, 13, 40, 121. This is now just a live stream about me reading out numbers, which, you know, not obviously appealing. I'm not getting any odd numbers. I'm not getting any even numbers up here, so it's not good on my plan to cancel out all the factors of 2 that I started off with. In fact, I'm just getting like loads of random stuff. That's the one that's 7 times 19. So then that's pretty good, because that gives me this. Have I now got enough 2s? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Yes, I think I've now got enough 2s. Oh, I might have done it. Might have got there. Might have got there. Quick check. Quick check on the cancellation. 3 to the 4. Have I put in any extra 3s? Oh, I've got to get rid of the extra 3s. Every time. Every time I get excited. Get excited by putting extra powers in the numerator that I then fail to remember to kill off. Every time. Don't worry, chat, I spotted it this time round. Oh dear. No, it's not multi-perfect because I haven't got rid of all the 3s and 5s and things. I've now got a new problem that I've got too many 3 squareds down. I've got too many 3 squared factors downstairs, plus all the other junk that I've included. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So I've got 5. I never killed off the. I have killed off the 7. Oh no! Oh dear. Do I do a 7 squared trick here instead of a 7? I could do a 7 squared trick here. 1 plus 7 plus, so 57. 57 brings in 2 more 3s. 1 more 3. Just 1 more 3. So annoying. And a 19. Did I already have a 19? No, because I've swapped it. So I'm still a 3 short. What's going on in chat? I haven't looked at chat for a while. Look for the function whose derivative is equal to its inverse. Times the 7/2 by 8/7. Yeah, that sounds really clever. Where was the 7/2 one? Up here. Yeah, why am I not just doing that? That sounds great. Yeah, I want that. Can I have that? When did I miss that in chat? Oh, cool. That sounds great. I cool on it again, I think. Does this just work? Or is this one with a bonus 3 in it that I never got rid of? No, I got rid of the 3. Yeah, I didn't have to multiply by 2. I could multiply by any kind of thing that was multi-perfect. It kills a 7. What was your loud statement, Herb? Oh, the one where you said you had an answer. I think this maybe works. 2, 3, 5, and 7, and it's given us upstairs. 63 is correct. 1, 3, 9, 27 is 30 and 40. 5, 6, and then a 7 and an 8. So cancel time. 2, 4, 8. 16, 32, 64. Oh gosh, there's going to be so many factors. There's going to be. It should end up being 4, I think, right? Okay, let's double check it. So, prompted by chat, I'm looking over here. And I'm checking this cancels. We've already found this number. Have we already found this number? Oh, don't say it all along. I've already had this. So there's a 4 perfect number from ages ago. No, surely not. This one's a multiple of 32. We've never had a 4. It can't be that again, right? It can't be that again. This one's got way more 2s in it. This one's got way more 2s in it. It's different. It really annoyed. Oh dear. This is maybe the last stream ever. Larood's a stream regular and I've really annoyed Larood. Oh god, I'm just really worried now. $7,560. That's 63 times 40. Times 6 times 8. Seems a bit too good to be true, right? 1,20960. Does that work then? 16? What have I done wrong? Someone cut the stream. Oh no, they're coming. Something's not right here. I'm not sure what. I think it's my adding. I'm double checking on my adding, right? Before I... You say what you'd like, but I am sometimes cautious. 1 plus 5, 1 plus 7. Oh, I remember that bit of the stream where James double checked calculations, tried to find a mistake so that chat wouldn't get too cross. That's not 7,560, it's 30240, but sadly that is 1/4 of the numerator. I think we have discovered the multi-perfect number 30240 as a 4 perfect number. Let me quickly check OEIS. Don't want 3 perfect numbers, thanks. In the list, 30240 is actually smaller than 32. But see, these are both 4 perfect, 32760 and 30240. But they're really similar numbers. They're like 2,000 apart. That's mad. It's 30240, but that's not again, because the previous one was 32760. It had fewer 2s in it. We've discovered 2 4 perfect numbers on this stream, sort of. I mean, discovered is a bit strong, but we've bumped into 2 of them as 2 cubed times 3 squared times 5 times 7 times 13. And separately, we've met 2 to the 5 times 3 squared times 5 times 7, which are pretty similar numbers. No, they're not. 3 cubed, which are pretty similar numbers because 12 and 13 are pretty similar. That's the kind of ratio between those numbers, and these are both 4 perfect. That's fantastic. Shout out to denominator is wrong. Yeah. But we fixed it. That's chat. Good. Ratio 4 does work. We did it. So shout out to a call in chat for Bam. Are you sure? Viewers who have chosen the correct outcome will be awarded 800 channel points. Cool. That's a thing playing in chat. There we go. Well, not every day. God. Oh, I see. So the 800 point prize pool is then divided between, because you have a 400 on each side, and they get divided. It's the maths again. Here we go. So shout out to people in chat who voted for yes. That was a 400 versus 400, perfectly balanced prediction, 50-50. Could have gone either way. Arun almost staked 6,000 points. Which, on your certainty that we wouldn't do a thing. And even with half of chat incentivized for us to not find the number 30240, the smallest four perfect number, we did get there. Excellent stuff, chat. Good team effort. We've learned something really important today. That was awful. Hi, Magical. Hey! It's time for a cup of tea. The way this works is that my kettle takes about a minute and a half. I'm going to make a cup of tea and we're going to look at some multi-perfect numbers. During your minute and a half ad break, you might like to make a cup of tea as well, or a beverage of your choice. If you see an advert, then remember the adverts are supporting charity, so you are doing honourable work for charity by watching an advert for whatever the hell it is. I will see you in a minute and a half holding a cup of tea. I have to remember to set a timer as well because it doesn't give me one. So minute and a half, starting now. Nothing else is going to happen on the stream while that's happening. You're not going to miss anything. Back in a minute and a half. Tea reward. Thank you to Manticore. Ad break. Loading. Maybe playing an ad break. I think that was a minute and a half. I've got a cup of tea. Oh, a coffee, people. Ah, that will help caffeinate my audience. That's what we need, right? Caffeine button. Thanks, Manticore, for sponsoring an ad break. Which is what happens there. Are we back? I think we might be back. There's Maria Returner telling me that I needed to do a coffee button. 3 p.m's a little bit late for a coffee. I find that the later it goes. I used to have a rule, and sort of technically still do. Personal rule, don't drink coffee after midday, which is very restrictive. Have I done that today? It tends to, when I'm self-improvement, don't drink coffee after 12 o'clock. It tends to me, at least to be drinking a lot of coffee at 11:55. Yeah, I got into coffee at university. Not got into, like, I don't know about coffee. Not in an intellectual way, just in a kind of addiction way. Right, good. That's got. Ooh, only drink tea. Cheers, Mountain Ash. That could have gone badly wrong. That's where I keep all of my screen. Right. Okay. So there's this multi-perfect number that Euler was aware of that I want to try and tell you about. It involves, what is it, a perfect number? Yeah, it's this thing where 641 is relevant. I'm going to see if I can find it on the internet. I saw it another time, another bit before. Yeah, I'm also Milk No Sugar. It's a sort of long-running column that I found a link to it recently. This proof is this stream is now James trying to find interesting things on the internet that he saw one time, because stream's been totally successful. Right? We've discovered 4 perfect numbers. In fact, the smallest 2. It's the contribution. The thing was how Euler did it. There we go. Yeah, this is it. This is the page I want. So this monthly column that by Ed Sandifer that ran for several years and has kind of historical notes about how Euler proved things. And there was a really interesting one. I've got absolutely no idea which month I want. This is the MAA again. Zoom a tiny bit because this is a bit hard to read, isn't it? So I kind of just want to go through lots of these, right? Like, because these different articles explain how Euler did different things. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. QuickTime and a TIFF decompressor. I needed to see this picture, says the PDF, which is a little bit disappointing, but I guess I'm looking at a printout. Anyway, so one of these is about multi-perfect numbers, and I don't mind kind of dipping in until I find it, because, oh, there was a series in there, because getting distracted by other stuff is brilliant. There's a Murderous Maths website. Hang on, I know there's a Twitch stream, there's a Twitch feature for this, right, where I let you point reward to tell me to look at a website. Oh, is that a good idea for a reward? A channel reward thing? Let me give it a go. It's really impossible to remember if that it is part of the monetization settings or the viewer reward settings. It's neither. It's channel points. Hang on. So I can go like manage alerts. No, not manage alerts. I really do not. I'm not learning at all. So let's put a number in. Website. This is going to go badly wrong. This is the worst idea I've ever had. So set up a thing, recommend a site. So I can set up a point, like 500 points or something. You can recommend a site. And how do I do this? How do I do it so you have to put a bit of text in? Yeah, require viewer to enter text. Yeah. If enabled, a required text will appeal to viewers in the reward. Okay. Good. Create. I can't see this going wrong at all. Okay, so you should now have an option to just like recommend websites for points, which I don't particularly love. Like, obviously, you could just recommend a website in chat. It's not like chat is particularly streaming by I'm gonna miss your website recommendations. But I think it highlights it or something. My Murderous Maths anecdote, by the way, is I was quite young and I read one of the very early Murderous Maths books. It introduced like addition and multiplication, I think. And then there was a page on percentages, and the guy just explained percentages so well that I read like 2 paragraphs about percentages in a friendly style and thought, oh, percentages are easy. Because I'd seen them in like shop windows or something, percent sign, and it was a weird squiggly, circly, liney thing. And then it explained so well. I was like, oh, actually, this is just, you can just learn things by reading about them, and then you know them, and all these secrets that the world has been hiding from me, I don't know, we're just going to learn about them. So I read a lot of Murderous Maths books. There's an auto mod that might stop you from putting a link just normally in chat. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so hang on. I've got my chat open as well. That's happened. What's a 2 times? Oh, so I've got a 2 times multiplier on my point. Oh god. Sorry, I just saw that there's a parameter for how much, when you're gambling, how much your points are multiplied by in the gamble. So as well as getting extra points, you get to spend them at twice the rate when you're gambling. Did that parameter need to exist? Website recommendation. Can I do this? Oh, okay. Oh, welcome back, Zoe. Yeah, and we've got a Discord recommender that doesn't get blocked, right? By the way, we have an unofficial Discord set up by Super Snowman of this parish. I'm just going to read random things that Euler did, written in a column by Ed from 10 years ago. What are we doing? It's not very fun to watch me just read text, right? Link between sums and integrals. And then found that they don't work for this. Some of these ones. The general term, oh my goodness. Oh, what's going on here? 4, 8, 9? Oh my goodness. Got a package showing that sums to 1. Yeah, this is also about 6 pages long, so I think probably if I skim it, I'm not going to get anything out of this. Oh, so the conjecture that it's this, but it isn't. Oh my goodness. And it's full of, so this column's really fun because it's full of these kind of asides or something to note this, to kind of correct the record or fix things. Entertain you to check this using your favourite computer algebra system. Good, okay. Right, this is not the one I was looking for though. So we can find it. Euler as a teacher, part 1 and 2. There's about 50 of these, and I'm just going to flip through it until I find the correct one that I was looking at the other day about multi-perfect numbers or perfect numbers or something like that. It's not that one. It's not that one. If you see something that looks interesting, by the way, you could just find this website. I'm on the website How Euler Did It by Ed Santa Fe. Which is just off screen. There we go. Sorry, I forget that I've got this kind of crop on to... the screen there is 4:3, like an old school monitor. We are now doing. I'll put there. There you go. We've only got 10 minutes left on the stream. Right, I need to speed up a little bit then. No, fallible Euler. Rational trigonometry, a theorem of Newton, a product of seconds, a series of trigonometric powers, life and death, I think, history. What did I get to? August 2008. Let's go faster. Probably someone doing a Google search who could also remember what I'm looking for would be able to find this much faster, but I just really like tabbing through lots of these things and seeing what's going on. Piecewise functions. Factoring F5, is this the one I want? This is the one I want. This is the one I want. Right, good, okay. There's this idea in Mersenne numbers that, Fermat numbers. So Fermat number is like the ones we've been looking at, 2 to the power plus 1, except that power is also a power itself, a power of 2. So they go 3, 5, 17, 2, 5, 7, 6, 5, 5, 3, 7. And then the next one is about 4 million. So far it's given us prime numbers. Does it keep giving us prime numbers? That would be really nice if it does. Yeah. I'm sort of so jealous of people in chat for... there's loads of cool internet stuff now from before you were born or just after you were born or whatever. There's loads of stuff out there, including number file videos. I got one because, do you want the story time? Brady was coming to the building anyway. Brady was coming to Oxford to film someone else more famous and important than me. And I got in touch and asked if we could record something based on a maths club session when Brady was in Oxford. So while Brady was in Oxford, we met and in quite a hurry recorded a number file video. I think I was in a hurry. I was definitely talking too fast. That's why that one is my number file appearance. The other person was Jared, who is well known for doing excellent number file videos and for proving a conjecture of Erdős, which I can try and find the thing if you like, but let's just check my suspicion that if you search Jared Numberphile, if you search Jared Numberphile, then you'll get the right sort of place. So Jared's oh gosh, what's Jared up to these days? Is Jared not still a DPhil student? But I think was a DPhil student when he proved the conjecture of Erdős about primitive sets. That YouTube video, so Jared's been on a couple of times, and I think people on Numberphile love Jared, which is correct. I'm not jealous. My video is stupid and it's about rolling dice and fighting dragons and stuff. But a cheeky email while you're in the building. Okay. So the challenge is to work out, is this a prime or not? And Euler did it. He spotted that it's a multiple of 641. And it's quite tempting to just think, oh, Euler's Euler, right? Euler can look at this number and check if it's a factor of 600, multiple of 641. But there's a method. I think for reasons of time, I'm going to point people to this particular article, which is March 2007. Am I allowed to put links? I can put links. People don't like the idea of pi being evil. I might not have put that as the... I don't know. It's their channel, they can do what they like, but I prefer the dragon dice rolling thing, the first thing that we did, and then pi is evil as a kind of follow-up, but that's the video title, so I get some comments on people saying about whether pi is evil or not, and all of the Tau people come out. Anyway. So this is kind of thing about factors. Yeah, this is, here you go. So this sum of two powers, a to the 2m plus b to the 2m. So not just powers, but things where a to the 2 to the m, b to the 2 to the m. And the factors of that are all of the form 2 to the n plus 1, n plus 1, which is kind of amazing. And because this column is brilliant, the column says, when Euler writes two such powers, he's being a little sloppy. Probably means relatively prime, which is what I've been saying coprime. Oh yeah, sorry, when I say all the Tau people, like, you don't need to do it, yeah. I just mean, you make a video with the number pi in it and you get lots of YouTube comments talking about Tau. And it's like, there's different numbers. They're very related numbers, but it's fine. Just want to tell you about Tau. I think people calculated that Tau doesn't have the same property, so it's not evil, which is actually a good comment. That's actually funny. So I don't mind at all. So the application of this a to the 2 to the m, b to the 2 to the m thing, I just find quite funny that Fermat numbers are all of that form because 1 is always b to the 2 to the m. It's 1 to the power of some huge power of 2 if you like. So you've only got to check certain numbers. So this is kind of big theorem that Euler's aware of or proved or knew or something. That means Euler's only got to check things that are 1 more than a multiple of 64. And there's not very many before you get up to 641. Which divides that. So it's sort of this magic trick for factorising Fermat numbers. And if I had a bit more time, I might try and understand where Theorem 8 comes from. It's kind of this... It's not the difference of two squares, but it is similar, isn't it? It reminds me of difference of two squares. It's not quite that, though. It's really not quite that. Maybe if I want to understand Theorem 8, I should go back and read Theorems 5, 6, 7, and so on backwards until I hit the fact that 1 plus 1 is 2, at which point I turn around and start reading harder maths again. This is where trying to understand things where you work forwards and backwards. You go, oh my goodness, don't understand that. Woof, I do understand that. Okay, so somewhere in between, somewhere in between it's gone, ooh. And then you hit the hard things again, you turn back and you go, there's the bit I don't understand at all. And then probably it's not the only bit you don't understand at all. binary search to find the edge of your understanding. Right, so I've binary search. I've gone down to theorem 4. I would like to understand theorem 8. I've gone back to theorem 4. If neither of the numbers a and b is divisible by the prime number p, then every number of the form that will be divisible by p. Yes. Okay, because each of those are 1 mod p because of Fermat's Little theorem. That's something I think I do understand. Also because the text says Fermat's Little theorem quite a lot above here. Love it when the text helps me understand something. Okay, so the sum of two squares will never be... This is brilliant. I love this sort of thing. Sum of two squares will never be divisible by a prime number. So that it's p3. Yeah, p3, and then this is b is negative or something. How do we get to squares? Every number of the form that will never be divisible by this. Euler uses theorem 4 to prove theorem 5. I don't even understand theorem 5. Unless both of the roots a and b are divisible by 4n minus 1. That's just the sort of maths that I want to be better at. I want to know more about this sort of sums of two squares, primes of the form 3 more than a multiple of 4. And then, okay, you build it up and you do higher powers and say, oh, instead of a squared, talk about a to the 4, a to the 8, a to the 16, I saw somewhere in between. I don't even see how theorem 4 and 5 are related. Interesting activity is to work out just how is this maths related to the other maths? Because there's a minus sign, right? Sum of two squares. If the sum of two squares is divisible by a prime number of the form that, then you need both of the roots to be divisible by that. But there's no... Theorem 4 tells me that something is divisible by p if a and b are both divisible by primes p. And Theorem 5 is telling me that something is not divisible by a prime number of that form. Oh, so take that prime p, call the prime p, and then right, if the sum is divisible by p, we know the difference. Oh, no. It's going to be something like the sum of the squares and the difference of the squares to get you down to the squares, and then look at the primes in each of them. If you've got the sum of the squares and the difference of the squares, then you can combine. But I don't see how to get to squares from a to the p minus 1 minus b to the p minus 1. Am I being dim? I haven't used the fact that p is 4n minus 1. Yeah, so the proof is going to be something like, suppose that a squared plus b squared is divisible by p, and one of them isn't. Yeah, I think it's quite a lot between theorem 4 and 5. I would quite like an article of how Euler did it for extending 4 to 5. And then, oh gosh, then think about the contrapositive. Oh, but that's fine. Oh, crikey, okay. Something like the square. So 4n minus 1, take away 1 is twice 2n minus 1, which is like a square to an odd power. Spicy. Oh, no, right. So you're interested in a to the... Hang on. Whoop. Undo that. Undo that. There we go. Okay, we're interested in a to the... Why is it done that? Interested in a to the p minus 1 minus b to the p minus 1, with p equals 4m minus 1. But actually, yeah, so my idea was something like that. A to the 4n minus 2 is a to the 2n minus 1 squared. Or maybe I mean that it's a squared to the power of 2n minus 1. That's not, 2n's not prime, so I don't know what I'm doing. I've run around in circles, as is sometimes the way with finding multi-perfect numbers or messing around with trying to understand pure maths. I think I'm going to pause there or call it at 4 p.m. Because that's how long we normally stream for. Chat, you've been really good today. We learned that we can do predictions and that they are weirdly effective at community engagement and turning the community immediately against the streamer. So that's good to know. We tried to understand something Euler did, and we found some 4 perfect numbers, which probably Zoe already knew from doing a big search, but I feel like there was a game element to this. Homework, if you want something else to do, we've not looked yet at this one. So this would be 511 over 256. Hang on, is 511 prime? If it is, we're running again, which is good luck. 7 times 73. So, you know, fun to be had there. 8, 7, 73, 74 gives you a 37 times 2. So put a 37 here and get a 38. Put a 19 here and get 20. And then are we done? Because we've got 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we need so many. 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 2 to the 7? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 1, 2, 8. It's 2 to the 8. 2 to the 8? Yeah, 9, 10, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not quite got enough 2s. Annoying. Ew, 7. Maria Returner is one of the people who lost points, but we're not salty. If we do competitions in the future, I'm going to remember that people will invest in the side that they've gambled on. So maybe when we find the perfect number, will it be a multiple of 6 or not? Oh no, because then people are also trying to gamble on the presence of a 3 on the board or not. I've got to think carefully about ways to do that. As always, if you saw any adverts today, then you are supporting charity, and we're very grateful for that. The numbers we found along the way were the real treasure. If you've got interviews coming up this week, then all the best with your interviews. If you don't have any interviews, then all the best with all the rest of your mathematics. I hope you have a very chill maths week, and I will see you again this time next week for more chill maths. I'm still working on the sign-off. I haven't quite got there.